Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Andrew, and this is Curricumate, an AI teaching assistant that helps teachers with things like planning, assessment, report cards, and creating classroom resources, all fully aligned to the Ontario curriculum. I'm going to give you a quick demo so you can see exactly how it works and how it can help you save a ton of time this year. To get started, you're going to want to head to curricumate.ai, that is curricumate.ai, and go to login. You're then going to put in your username, which for you is your email address, as well as your temporary password that has been provided to you, and hit login. I'm now really quickly going to run through the different sections that we have on Curricumate to show you the variety of AI tools that we offer, starting with our classroom essentials. This is where you can do things like building worksheets, generating rubrics, creating quizzes, success criteria, choice boards, and more. In our planning section, this is where you can actually interact with the curriculum to plan lessons, plan units, and get an expectation breakdown to fully understand that expectation with key vocabulary and sample problems. So we have a number of different planning tools. And then a report card support section. This is where you can actually go ahead and get support for writing your learning skills as well as your subject area comments. You can write them in different ways, like creating learning skills banks, writing for multiple students at once, or doing it very instantly for one student. We offer very similar tools for subject areas as well, including our instant report card comment builder. That is curriculum based. This is a very, very powerful tool for writing report cards. So a number of report card tools. We do have some student support tools as well. So this will be things like adapting the reading level of a passage for a specific student, getting strategies for accommodating and modifying expectations for specific student needs, and even writing IEP goals and getting task cards to go with them. In our communication section, you can write emails and newsletters to parents. Our literacy section is going to be for language-based tasks like creating fun editing challenges, chapter questions for stories you're reading, creating reading comprehension passages along with questions, journal prompts, decodable text reading activities, and even getting suggestions for stories when you have a topic in mind. So those are our literacy tools. In our EQAO prep section, you can create custom EQAO style practice questions for writing and reading. In our STEM and science section, you can get ideas for STEM challenges, plan STEM challenges, plan science projects, as well as science experiments. In our math section, you can create rich math word problems, scaffolded, mild, medium, spicy questions around a specific topic to differentiate your math, and even create fun games that are based with cards and dice, as well as creating word problems. Our well-being section offers two tools. One is a community circle prompts builder and a case study scenarios generator, which are going to help you create case studies for specific topics that you're working on with your class. And last but not least, for those who do teach phys ed or maybe coach, we offer tools for building those fitness circuits, creating phys ed games for your class, and then again, coaching practice drills. Now we're actually going to jump into one of our tools to see what it looks like. I'm going to show you the lesson planner where you can create your three-part lesson aligned with curriculum expectations. You're just going to start by clicking View Tool, and that's going to take you into the lesson planner, which looks like this, and most of our tools have an interface that looks similar to this. You're going to start by selecting your grade. So for this example, we're going to go with grade 7. We don't have to worry about changing the curriculum because it is only set to Ontario. You're then going to select your subject. I'm going to go with math. And moving down, we're going to select a math strand. I'm going to go with data, an overall expectation, and then one or two specific expectations that I want my lesson to be based on. So I'm going to go with D1.1 and D1.4. Now I know that because they're selected, my lesson is going to be aligned with both of these expectations. I'm now going to move ahead and click on Minds On to select the first part of my lesson, what I want that to look like, and I'm going to go with a Think, Pair, Share. For the main activity, I can choose my instructional strategy. I want it to be inquiry-based and collaborative. It's important that you don't click on more than one or two of these at a time. If you were to click on, a lot of them like this, it would make it a really disorganized sort of lesson and confuse it a lot. I'm then going to go and choose the third part of my lesson, which is the consolidation piece, and I am going to stick with reflection. So those are the 3 parts. Now, you do not have to write anything in these boxes. They're optional, but highly recommended. Now, if I were just to hit submit with no information in topic and in the additional information, it would still create a lesson plan, but it wouldn't have any context of what you actually want. It would only use the information from the expectation that you selected and then the 3 parts. And it would still come up with a pretty cool lesson, but you should be sort of guiding it a little bit further. So I already have a topic in mind, and I'm just gonna paste it here. And it's using math to visualize recycling and waste habits within our school. That is something that I want to achieve in this lesson, and I want to bring it to life. I'm then going to do the same thing for additional information. I already have an idea of something else that I want to achieve, and I'm just going to paste it here and quickly read it. It says students collect a small sample from today's school recycling, use percentages to create circle graphs, and discuss what the data says about sustainability. That is a lot of information. You don't have to put that every single time. You can just put loosely what you want the theme to be about, or maybe something specific about your classroom, or maybe nothing at all. But this is what I'm going to write. And now I have the option to select my language between English, French, and Spanish. And I'm just going to hit submit to generate that lesson plan. Now it's going to provide you with your lesson plan, which is going to include the specific expectations that you requested along with the additional information and topic. As you see here, it's called Lesson Plan, Visualizing Recycling and Waste Habits. Every lesson plan is going to be complete with 3 learning goals, a list of materials, your lesson summary, your key vocabulary, which you can use as an anchor chart or for some simple review, and then most importantly, it's going to guide you through the 3 parts of your lesson on how you can go ahead and teach them. So it's got that think, pair, share, minds on, it's got your inquiry-based collaborative learning main activity, and it has your consolidation reflection piece on what you can be doing to round out that lesson. It's going to give you tips for differentiation, next steps on maybe what does my next lesson look like, as well as success criteria for you to do a quick check for understanding. I'm really quickly going to show you a couple other features that you see here just to show you what else you can do. If you were to copy this, you would copy this to a clipboard to paste it into another document. You can use the editing feature to actually go in, delete, change, edit manually any of the information here to add your own sort of information or make any changes that you need. You can save a specific copy, and you can export to Word document and Google Docs. So this will be fully exportable into whichever processor you choose. If you do not hit save, it will still auto-save into documents. But where this button gets useful is when you are using the refinement tools. So these are your tools for refining it after the fact using AI. So I could change the length of any document by making it shorter or longer. I could summarize to get the main idea. I could simplify to adapt for ESL, explain key terms, use simple vocabulary, convert to bullet points, or even change the language. I could add one of our suggested prompts here, which is add a cross-curricular connection, adapt for ESL, differentiate for 3 levels of readiness, or even attach a rubric. Each tool is going to have a different set of suggested prompts for you to choose from. But you can also write anything you want here. Just like you're going back and forth with Gemini or ChatGPT, you can actually do that here. And I want to make an adjustment to this lesson. I actually want to add something to it. So I'm going to instruct it to attach a graphic organizer for students to record their data, as well as 5 reflection questions. And I'm just going to hit this blue arrow here. So now what it's done is it's created that extra sort of attachment that we asked for, which was a graphic organizer for students to record, as well as those reflection questions. Now you can flip back and forth, and you can export either one as you need. So I can go and export this page here, and then I would go back to my lesson plan, and I can export that as well. Why this is really important and useful is because this is how Curricumate allows you to differentiate for different students. You can create multiple versions of any worksheet, of any report card comment, of any reading comprehension passage to make sure that it meets the needs of your students. It is a game changer.
I'm quickly going to showcase one more tool, which is the Instant Report Card Comment Builder that is curriculum based. This is an awesome tool for writing curriculum aligned report cards really quickly. Start by clicking View Tool.
And this is what the Instant Report Card Comment Builder looks like. You're going to start by selecting your grade. For this example, we'll go with a secondary course, so we're going to go with grade 11. And we're going to pick one of the subjects that we teach. Maybe we're doing science, and the specific course that we're teaching will also be listed. So maybe I'm writing report cards for SBI 3C, and I'm going to select my strand. Maybe in term 1 we worked on cellular biology. I'm going to pick my overall expectation, and I'm going to click on the expectations that I want to be reflected into the comment. I can add another strand now. So now I've already done cellular biology. Maybe I also want to reflect on microbiology and pick one of the overall expectations and pick maybe 2 more specific expectations that the students demonstrated. I can choose as many strands as I want, but for the example, we'll just choose 2. Now I'm thinking of a student, and this student received a 71, so they're in the B- range. I'm going to click on their grade level. I'm going to select their pronoun, and then totally optionally here, you can put in a couple jot notes of student strengths, student needs, and examples of student work. But I'm going to show you quickly, if you just don't use that, you can still create your comment. And I can go and submit. And then you're going to get your report card comment that looks something like this. You're able to edit it as we showed before. We can copy it to a clipboard, and we can also export this directly into a Google Doc or a Word doc. But I can also modify it right in here, right? I can do something like changing the length. Maybe I want to make it a little bit shorter. I'm just going to hit make shorter. So now it's the same comment, just a little bit shorter. I can add a next step. Maybe the student needs to work on something, so it's going to add a next step here. And then it has our next step that we can choose. And then what I can even do is I have another student. I love this comment, but I want to apply this for a group of students who are at a bit of a higher achievement. So I'm going to hit adjust to reflect higher achievement. And is going to create that same comment just for a higher achievement level. And you can use this as your banks, you can use this for specific students, you can use this however you wish. We do have many different report card tools. This is just one of them, and this one is really powerful because of its alignment directly to the Ontario curriculum and every single subject and course that we offer.
Today you just saw 2 of Curricumate's most powerful tools, the Lesson Planner and the Instant Report Card Comment Builder, to show you how quickly you can create high-quality, curriculum-aligned resources. We do have over 50 tools, and that can feel like a lot, but you don't need to dive into everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 that interest you, maybe a worksheet, a rubric, or even a choice board. Once you try a couple, you'll see not only how much time they save, but how they enhance your planning, instruction, and assessment. From there, you'll naturally explore more. Curricumate is here to make your work easier and your teaching stronger.